Tommy Robinson, a well-known British activist, recently spoke out about the shocking reports of assassination attempts on former President Donald Trump.
What do you think of Donald Trump?
I love him. Absolutely love him.
Why?
Why? Because he didn't have to do what he's done. He's a billionaire. He was loved by everyone. Everyone loved him. The left loved him and the right loved him. He was the American dream. He was the American success story. But yet he put himself into a position where he's had 2 assassination attempts now, where he has to live the rest of his life hated by half of the country, or by a lot of the people in the country, where he's tarnished as a racist, tarnished as all he didn't have to do any of that. He could have just carried on living his beautiful little life playing his golf. But he put America first, because he loves his country. And he knows that it's been stolen and robbed. And he knows those in control, the same people who are in control of invading Iraq and invading Afghanistan, the same people who are in control of the Ukraine war, all of the death and all the war. Under Donald Trump's 4 years of leadership, no war. None. This wouldn't have happened with Palestine and Israel. It wouldn't happen with Ukraine and Russia. It wouldn't have happened. But certain agendas controlling, which is what I talk about all in this, certain war machines, certain cabals that are controlling our governments want war. They want displacement. They need war.
Robinson shared his views on why these attempts might be happening, tying them to Trump's bold and controversial stance on politics. According to Robinson, Trump's fight against corruption and his efforts to drain the swamp have made him a target for those who feel threatened by his influence.
They want it for their own economies. So America gives £6 billion over to Ukraine. What do Ukraine do with the £6 billion? Give it back to America for weapons. It just keeps the economy going.
It's just like laundering money.
It's just laundering money. And children as well, Ukraine. Ukraine has always been known, we look here and here. Ukraine, up until the war, all the media talked about Ukraine as being the most corrupt country in Europe, and one of the most corrupt countries, I think, 8th worst in the world, yeah? And child trafficking. So Ukraine is the top for that, and Nazis. So our media, The Guardian, all left-wing media, always just were hammering them. As soon as the war started, they're all fucking heroes. We're funding the Nazis. Look at it. We look here in this book with all the facts. Our government are funding neo-Nazis. Now they're not neo-Nazis. Now they're the good guys. They just fucking change it and lie. For whatever agenda. Like we funded ISIS. We funded ISIS. When ISIS were fighting in Syria, we wanted ISIS to beat Assad. For our own geopolitical fucking worldview, that's what we wanted rid of Assad. Now, Putin, it wasn't about, at first it was about Crimea. Then listen to Zelensky, all of a sudden it changes. It's about regime change in Russia. So you want rid of Putin.
He highlighted how the media often paints Trump in a negative light, which, Robinson believes, fuels hostility toward him. Robinson also warned about how such attempts on political figures, whether you agree with their views or not, set a dangerous precedent for democracy.
What happens when you get rid of Putin? Look what happened when you got rid of Gaddafi. Do you know there's 200 different ethnicities in Russia? Now, I went to Russia. I went to a massive conference against Putin, but they are terrified of what happens when Putin goes. Even the people who are against him. They said, we're concerned. He's got control of Chechnya. He's got control of the country. What happens when he's gone? It turns to a fucking war zone like Libya, like all these other countries. Like all of them. Like all of them. So no matter if he's a tyrant, why are you getting involved? Why have we gone against every agreement in surrounding Russia, basically? Why did we overthrow a democratically elected government in fucking Ukraine? Because they were pro-Putin. Well, they chose that through elections. And then you say, we fund a militia resistance against it, and then we say we're fighting for democracy. So I just get so wound up that the 1%, which is all they give a shit about anyway, is farming us like animals and money and playing us all against each other and every conflict. And I think Donald Trump is in that way. He's in the way, which is why they've tried to assassinate him. Anyone who looks at assassination attempt, they stood there. They knew he was on the roof with a gun and they stood Secret Service down.
The conversation raises big questions about freedom, fairness, and the lengths people will go to for power. What do you think about this situation? Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more insightful discussions.